pardon me. Just checking the scenery, that's all. Because I'll tell you, I don't know whether you've seen any of the news stories, but if you have, you're doing the same thing I am, watching out for bees. Matt Dudley, the name of your service is?
BB's LLC Pest Termite and Bee Service.
And this is a big season for you folks, but why? Why bees now?
Bees right now due to the weather. It's actually a little later than normal, so you're running into a lot more swarming than normal right at this time.
Yeah, the weather being what? What is it that attracts bees
it's the warmth.
climatologically?
It's the warmth, right? I mean, and anywhere from 88 to 91 degrees is a perfect swarming season.
So where are they if it's 46?
Hide in the honeycomb.
Oh, is that right?
Right.
Is it a kind of hibernation?
Right, yeah. If as long as the bees have enough honeycomb to survive, they'll actually survive a whole winter, as long as there's enough honeycomb.
So all the things that we love about Arizona, the bees love too.
Right, they're here just with us.
Yeah, well, they really have been with some families lately, and I don't know, it's a kind of an interesting dichotomy because you're talking about those cute little honeybees that provide such an important service for mankind, not only pollinating flowers, but also creating honey. And then there's another kind of bee that attacks us.
Right.
Okay, how can we tell the difference if we happen to see a bee somewhere in our backyard? What do we do?
Basically, the difference is only scientifically, really, besides aggressiveness. Best thing to do if you see a bee is just walk the property, take a look around the property, make sure there's no active hive going in and out of a void or a water valve box, anything like that. So as long as the property is clear, you're all right. Obviously, the bees are either pollinating or just scouting the area.
So they're not really going after us. We're not talking about a group of angry bees, anti-human.
No, they're not. Individual bee, a solitary bee is not going to bother you. I mean, even a swarm is pretty docile until they're actually established and they're protecting the queen or protecting a hive.
All right, so if I happen to get in the way of a group of protective bees in a swarm and they start aggressively coming around me, in my face, and or any creature or human being that we have on the property, what the heck do? I continue to hear about the helplessness. You can't go in a pool. If you go inside, they follow you. Are we helpless?
No, the best thing to do is get into an enclosed area, whether it's a car, a house, wherever you can go and exclude the bees from following you. Obviously, whatever bees are on you are going to remain on you.
Close the door means
Right.
exclude the bees.
Right.
But they can get into things like the doggy door. They can get into places, crevices.
It's very rare that they're going to come
Really?
to anything like that. Especially if they're following, they're just going to continue to attack that door. Right. They're not going to go searching around looking for another entrance.
When you find, though, an incident such as last week, lady was trying to protect her dog.
Right.
She runs inside, but when somebody else comes in to protect her, her face is covered with bees. What can be done then? What could that other party do to get the bees off of her? Anything?
No, I mean, there's not a whole lot. I mean, at that point, I mean, obviously, once a bee stings you, it dies. But, you know, you're kind of helpless in that situation. You can't really, as much as you want to help somebody, you can't, because then you're taking a chance of yourself getting attacked as well. You can try to swat the bees off, but your best thing to do is just let the bees do their thing. Just try to keep away from, like I say, the swarm initially, and just try to keep your distance from the actual swarm of bees and let them do whatever bees are on you. Just do their
Okay, well, what about in advance of any kind of a problem? Because I don't want to create some drama where there isn't any. The bees and human beings have coexisted now for a long, long time. What do we do in advance by way of the services that you provide?
Basically, in advance, you just basically want to, like I say earlier, just take a look around. I mean, as far as advance of being preventative of attack.
Yeah, if I see a hive, no, but if I see a hive, I keep my distance. Do I just let them stay on the property, or can I call you to do something about getting rid of the hive?
No, definitely give a professional call, whether it's us or it's 911 or another exterminating company. Definitely want to get that attentive and taken care of. I mean, that's definitely an issue. So definitely don't want to let them establish, because the longer they establish, the more aggressive they are going to be.
So what do you do with the hive?
Depends on the location. I mean, we will do live bee removal. We'll foam. I mean, just depending on where the area is and what we can do is gonna vary on the application that we do.
All right, tell me the truth, and let's get rid of some myths. Is it true that bees are attracted to perfume, aftershave, aromatics, that kind of thing?
They all have nectar in them, so they are going to be attracted to that. Definitely. I mean, it's a scent. Even an original scent, it's still going to have a scent, no matter what. I mean, it's an original, but it's still made with nectar. It's still got nectar in it. Anything that's obviously going to attract the bees.
Oh, that's terrific. So, and all of a sudden they think that I'm a cousin, and they find out that all I'm doing is wearing cheap aftershave, and then they get mad. What about colors?
Colors make a difference. They can't see white. Obviously, they can see yellow. All citizens.
But that's why you're wearing
Right, that's why we typically wear white. All beekeepers wear white. They cannot see white, they can't see black. Yellow they'll see, purple they'll see, red they'll see. That's why a lot of times they'll specifically pollinate off of certain flowers.
What's a myth that we can get rid of right now?
A myth about bees. There's quite a few. Let me think of one.
Well, we only have about a minute and a half, so you're going to either have to think of one right away or make something up. When you're talking about Africanized bees, the first thing we hear is how aggressive they are, and you've just said that they really don't actually assertively go after human beings unless they've been bothered.
Right, or they're protecting. Like I said, if they're in the middle of swarming or they're just pollinating, they're very docile. If you're agitating them while they're protecting a queen or protecting a comb, any established colony, yes, you're prone to get attacked.
Can I tell the difference between a sweet, loving honeybee, the kind that we see in the animated cartoons, and the more aggressive Africanized bee?
No, European honeybees look identical. Scientifically is the only way to tell the difference.
I guess you can always check with Matt Dudley and the professionals in his organization. The name of your crowd?
BB's Pest, Termite, and Bee Service.
Okay, we find you under bee, right? If we're
Bee
looking
removal,
in general.
right?
Huh?
Bee removal.
Is this a good time to have you come over to the house?
Excellent time. Just at least check the property, check the premise, make sure there's nothing on the property, you know, beforehand, before it gets out of control.
I'm not even waiting to call. I think I'm going to have him check out the premises right now. During this break, I hope that you feel as if you be safe. This is Pat McMahon, The Morning Scramble.